to show or demonstrate something else. So in this case, out of all the options that you have, it's when written instructions are tough and it's easier to understand on a picture or a diagram. Okay, so for example, if I'm trying to explain something to you and you don't understand it, I draw it on the board. That would be the illustration. Okay, number 16. When representatives from two countries engage in a dialogue, what are they doing? Okay, so you have one person representing Malaysia, one person representing Thailand, and they want to come to an agreement. We call this negotiation or exchange a dialogue. Okay, and so your answer is C. They are having a discussion intended to produce an agreement. 17. When firefighters survey the damage caused by a house fire, what are they doing? Survey can mean a few different things. If I ask you to take a survey of how you are enjoying your time off right now, then you answer a whole list of questions. That would be a survey. Okay, but when you're just going to go and check something out to kind of get the general idea of something, that can also be called a survey. So when firefighters survey the damage, they answer is A. They look over the site carefully or inspect the damage, okay, to see how much damage has been done, what needs to be done, what needs repairing. Usually the insurance people will come and look at it as well so that they would know how much the person needs to be compensated. Okay. Number 18, what is a strategy? A strategy is simply, answer is D, a plan you make to achieve a goal. Okay, that's a strategy. Number 19, how long are you staying? If you say you are here for an indefinite amount of time, indefinite means you don't know. Okay, so answer is B, you are not certain how long you will be staying. And last of all, number 20, why do opinions differ from one person to another? An opinion is something that you think. It's not the same as what I think, right? What you think, what your friends think, you all have your own opinions. Sometimes they are the same, sometimes they are different, but they can be different because they are not based on facts. Okay, so your answer for number 20 is A. Okay, very quickly, let's look at grammar close. Henry Ford is famous for making cars easier for most people to buy. He did this by producing cars using an assembly line. Okay, so an assembly line is something where it's a line of machines usually, or people, okay, where they put together parts of something. So for example, it starts out with just one small component, it moves down the line, something else is added to it, it moves down the line, something else is added to it. Okay, so if it's for the car, for example, one part of the engine, and then it moves down, another part of the engine gets added on, and then the shell of the car, or the skeleton of the car, and then the outsides of the car. Okay, so each part is added on, added on, added on as it moves down the line. That's what you call an assembly line, because it's being assembled. Okay, Henry Ford was born in 1863 in Michigan. He had 4 siblings and his family owned a farm. Now take note that your entire passage here is in the past tense. Okay, so you should know that if you need to fill in any blanks, for example, number 21, answer would be D, okay, because it's in the past tense. He worked on a farm blank, he was young. So when he was young, yeah, your answer is J. But he soon discovered that he loved taking things apart to see how they worked, then putting those things, it would be them. Okay, L, putting them back together again. He worked on watches a lot and ended up helping many people fix their watches. In 1879, when he was 16 years old, he moved to Detroit to start working blank machines. So when you work on something on a regular basis, you would say that you work with machines. Okay, your answer for number 24 is B. Though he came home and worked on the farm a little too. Ford got married to Clara Bryant in 1888 and worked on a sawmill. A sawmill was a place where they cut lumber, okay, wood. They cut down trees and then they bring the logs to the sawmill, and then the sawmill is the one that would process the wood to become all kinds of different shapes and sizes for construction purposes. Okay, he eventually became engineer. Engineer starts with an E, it's a vowel, it has a vowel sound as well, so an engineer. Okay, Answer for number 25 is K. Ford worked for the Edison Illuminating Company and even got to meet Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was the person who invented the light bulb. Edison encouraged him to keep working on his plans for his horseless carriage powered blank a motor. So instead of a horse pulling the carriage, this is a horseless carriage. That means there's no carriage. No horse, and it's a carriage would be the car, right? So it's powered by a motor. Okay, the motor is the one that is running the car. Number 26 is H. Okay, Ford's gasoline-powered horseless carriage was called the quadricycle. He sold the quadricycle and started his own business to continue his work making vehicles. He did not stay with the first company for very many years, but eventually started the Ford Motor Company. He blanked many years developing cars which were only made a few at a time. Okay, so when he used a lot of time and effort to do something, he spent a lot of time, okay, and to make sure that it's in the right tense, so it's not A, it's N, spent, okay, past tense. Ford was not the first person to create a car, but he was the one who blanked to make them accessible to a lot of people. Okay, so he's the one who started to, or in this case, began, okay, to make them accessible. His Model T car, released in 1908, was easy to drive and to repair, which made many people want one. He needed to make many cars for a lot of cars very quickly. His company, Ford Motor Company, hired blank workers to work on an assembly line. Okay, so if you need people who know what they're doing and they are very good at what they do, they are skilled workers. Okay, 29 is M. One worker might put on the steering wheel blank at a different spot on the line. Another worker put on tires. Okay, so remember we're talking about the assembly line earlier. So one person puts on the steering wheel while at a different spot on the line. Another worker put on tires. Okay, for number 30, your answer is Q. And that's all for this week. Complete your assignments, pass it up, submit so that I can mark, okay? And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.